What's up, guys? Live here at Pro Play Games at ARG Atlanta with Patrick Hoban. What'd you do today? What'd you play?
I made top 8, and I played True Draco King Zoo.
Oh, really? And how was it?
It was good. This deck's really good. I mean, especially now that like Terratop's gone. Really, the Zoo deck really just has like, you know, the normal summon push if they don't draw Barrage, and this deck just has like way more pushes. It's like you're playing a special summon deck where they're not. This is something that Jay and I have been working on for like a while. We've been working on it for like a month and a half, 2 months or so, but it just like wasn't good enough with Fusion Substitute basically. Like they just like drew too many cards and like the traps would stop the like combo pieces, because this is like all the cards really need like multiple pieces to work. So when one trap was stopping like 2 cards, it wasn't really as good when Fusion Substitute drew them a bunch of cards, but now that it's gone, this deck's a lot better.
Alright, cool. Let's check out the specs.
Cool. So for the True Kings, played 3 of the water ones and 2 of the earth ones. So this ratio is because like the water one's honestly the best one, because like he's the only one you want to draw multiples of. If you draw multiples of this one, it doesn't do anything. Like if you pop it itself, it can't bring itself back. Whereas if you draw multiples of these, then you pop one and then special the other from the deck, you make the FT that way. It also works better with diagram, because like if you diagram pop this, like turn 1 it doesn't do anything, but if you diagram pop this, it does. So this one's just like the one you want more of, even though you don't actually play any water monsters. Then the next was just 1 masterpiece. Yeah, the card's insane. I really wanted the option in my deck, but didn't want to play like a bunch of the cards, because like, I mean, the spell and traps are like not that great to draw a lot of the time. Like I really wanted to draw into them rather than just drawing like a bunch of them together. So rather by playing 1, it was like I had 7 with the diagrams and terraformings, but it was only a 1-of when I didn't want to see it. Then I played Zephyros. This card sucks, to be honest. There's like a cool combo where if you have Rat Diagram, you can go Trident, Emerald, VFD by playing this card, or Masterpiece. But honestly, this card is just like a Garnet, and I wouldn't play it again. Usually, because like the hand trap's just disrupted enough that like if you have those and then they're going through unopposed anyway, then like it was probably a good enough play. But just wanted to try it for the event. It wasn't something we had really tested before the event. But yeah, I wouldn't play it again. 3 Baboons. This card was very good, especially with like the diagrams and stuff. This card's particularly good going second as well. It's just like an additional push, fixes your hands. Then for the hand champs, I played Maxi and 3 Ogres. I think Ash kind of sucks, to be honest. There's not really ever a good point to Ash. Like if you Ash a diagram, then it like leaves them with a diagram. If you Ash the Barrage, it leaves them with a Barrage. I'm not trying to Ash a Tenki. I guess the best thing you could Ash is like terraforming, but like it's just so like subpar in like most situations. And now it's like I don't even care if their plays resolve a lot of the time. Like I don't care if they go Dry to Emerald now. Because they're not like drawing 5 anymore, so I don't feel a need to stop those plays as much. Whereas I think Ogre is like better because it actually gets the Barrage off the field. It actually gets the field spell off the field, so it's not like another card you have to deal with in the future. It also just stops the Rat normal summon as well, which kind of ends their turn a lot of the time. Then I played for the Zoo monsters just 2 Rats, 1 Thoroughblade, 2 Ram, and only 1 Whiptail. I guess the only thing that's not really standard is the 1 Whiptail. I don't know. Card's Axiom Spare, I don't really want to play it. But to be honest, I feel like you don't need it, because I feel like the normal Zoo decks need more copies of it to be able to actually attack for game. But because this deck has like the True Dracos and the Masterpiece as well, you can put 8,000 on the board a lot easier, whereas the other decks with like fewer of these probably, if they were playing pure Zoo, wouldn't be able to do that very easily. But yeah, I don't really want to draw Whiptail very often. It's not the worst draw, but it's not what I'm trying to do either. Then for the spells, Played Upstart, one Heritage. I was thinking about it during the event. I feel like the other one would have actually been better. The one that recycles 3 and draws 1.
Recycles 3, yeah.
Yeah, like this was occasionally sometimes good when we were playing like the Masterpiece mirrors, because you know they could like flip their trap and then tribute for Masterpiece on my turn, and then I could draw off their trap going to the grave kind of thing. So like you could end up drawing 2 a couple times, but I think the more common thing was like running out of water dragon targets, because the water can only get the Earth or Masterpiece. So I feel like being able to shuffle back the Earth to have additional water targets in the deck might have been better. Then I played Regeki and 2 Dark Holes. I don't know. I don't like these cards very much. They're not like, I understand that they're like kind of somewhat necessary, but a lot of the time when they're dropping Masterpiece, it's like a monster spell anyway. So there's that. They got my bodied pretty frequently, and they don't do anything going first. So like they're not my favorite cards, but sometimes like they still do make going second easier. Like if you could just clear the Dryden without them having my body, then it does probably put you in a better position. I don't know if I'd play this many of them anymore. I probably wouldn't cut them all together. But
Throw them in the sideboard or something?
yeah, something like extra copies on the sideboard. Then I played 3 Diagram and 3 Terraforming. Really, what we're trying to do is just like find a way to abuse Diagram. Like that's basically what I think the best deck is going to be. Is like whatever deck can abuse the Diagram pop the best, which is really what we were trying to do with this deck. Because now instead of just having Ram like the normal Zoo deck does, this one has Ram, like both dragons. So I don't know. I think this card is like, it's already insane, but it's like particularly insane when you're playing the dragons as well. I'll show you the Zephyros combo later, even though I wouldn't play it again. Then I played 2 Desires. The basic idea with this is like if you go first, then you can like just take your rat out of the deck anyway before playing it, and then if you go second, rat's not like super crucial anymore, if that makes sense. Like it can just be another zoo monster, so even if you like banish one, it's not like the end of the world. And you just want to be able to draw into like more special summon cards, more pushes going second. So you want to be able to draw into like extra diagrams, extra like of the dragons, to be able to special more when you're pushing through traps going second. So that was kind of the idea. And like I said, you can take the rat out of your deck when you are going first before actually playing it. Then 3 Tenki and 3 Barrage. And then the only trap was Return. This card was actually insane. I think it was a lot better in this deck than it was in like most of the
Can it bring back the True Kings?
Yeah, it can.
Okay.
And so, and the True Kings are all floaters too, so they all get their effects when they're destroyed by artifacts. So I had like at least like 3 or 4 games where it would just like at the end of my turn, I would be able to bring back one once I was done making plays, and then on the end of their turn, I'd be able to bring back another, and then like I just play like big monster beat down, and they're floaters, so there's not really like a good way of getting rid of them. So like if this card stays on the field, it's like really hard to deal with. It gives you a lot of advantage too. And then for the extra deck, played 2 Broad Bulls, 2 Dryadents, 2 Chakanine, 1 Tiger, 1 Boar, and 1 Hammerkong for the Zoo monsters. The only thing is the second Tiger. I sided a second Tiger. Yeah.
How was that?
Mostly just in case I felt like I fucked up.
Okay.
But like what ended up happening is I decided like halfway through the tournament that Zephyros wasn't very good, so I started taking it out, going second. So then what ended up happening is just when I took out the Zephyros, I would be able to put it in the Tiger. And that was because you play 4 Strix as well to go search the Zephyros. I'll show you.
Okay, so you take that out too.
Yeah, so so I would be able to take this out for the second Tiger.
Okay.
Then I played 2 Emerald, Invoker for the Baboon, this thing, whatever it's called. VFD. This card's really cool too because you can do cool things like special it back off the trap and then like Tiger to give it another material to be like another dimensional barrier.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is cool. And then the last card I played was, what was it called? Diamond Crab King.
Oh yeah, what does this card do?
It attacks over Masterpiece basically. So 0 attack, but once per turn you can just like make it 3,000. And so basically the idea would be Trident, pop their field spell, make this, attack over Masterpiece. And I think it's a lot better in this deck than it is like a normal Zoo deck, because like in a normal Zoo deck, you just don't have to pop anything that's not a threat to a Masterpiece. Whereas this deck, because like VFD is like bigger than Masterpiece to begin with, and you're playing Masterpiece yourself, you can like threaten the Masterpiece in multiple different ways. So this is just like an additional way to threaten it once they've stopped your initial way of threatening it. Whereas I think like a pure Zoo deck doesn't really have that, so they could just literally wait for it to hit the board. But yeah, in this deck I think it's a lot better. And then this side deck, I played Tornado Dragon, said second Tiger, mostly in case I felt like I fucked up. I did it by playing Zephyros. Dweller, this was just if I played the like the tribute, not really have an extra deck version.
True Draco. Yeah, pure True Draco.
The pure True Draco. This card's really good against them, but that's the only time I really want it. Then I played Cherries. So I don't know, this card was weird. It was like, there were like 1 or 2 games where it was the Stone's absolute blowout, just hit a Trident. And then there were like more games where it'd be like, they summon Trident and then you draw it, so even if it's live, now they can like Shack a 9 back and like Tiger it and give materials and stuff, so you're not really hitting all their Tridents. Or you just like draw it later in the game and then like, I don't know, the monster counts aren't right, or I don't know, a lot has to go right for this card to be good, but when it's good, it's really good, but it's usually not, if that makes sense. I don't know if I play it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
It's a very polarizing card, I guess. It's either really good or really bad. Then I played 3 set rotation and 1 Oracle of Zephyr. I completely acknowledge that the Gateway of Chaos card's better. I just didn't have it. It's basically the same thing. If you're not playing Zephyrs, I guess the Zephyr cards are slightly better. So the other card probably would have been better, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
But yeah, set rotation, it's cool because it's like another engine card and a trap card all in one. Because then it locks them out of playing their field spells when you still get to play your diagram. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Then My Body. This card sucked. I would absolutely not play it again. I think it would be really good in like Pure Zoo, because then it's like summon your rat and they're like Trident pop and you're like My Body, right? But in this deck you're like playing the field spells and then they're popping the field spells and My Body doesn't stop that. And yeah, so I wouldn't play My Body again in this deck. I do think it's good in the regular deck though, in the pure deck. Then I started 3 barriers. And then that's it. I can show you the combo.
Yeah.
Which
one? The Zephyros one that you didn't like?
One.
Okay.
So it's like you just go rat and diagram is all you need for it. And summon the rat. Dump Ram. Play one of the Exceeds. And special the other rat, and then you make bowl, and go search, and you make Shack a 9. And then the Shack a 9, bring back the Ram, throw one under, and Trident, and then Trident the Ram, and then summon back, and then here you can make this, the Raid Raptor, and you go search Zephyros. and then you diagram, and you pop the Zephyros, and you go get the water. And then you can bounce it back, and then play this, and then you go pop. You can get the earth. You go search the earth, and then you can go pop the. Did I do this wrong?
Yeah, destroy an earth.
Huh?
Yeah, you have to destroy an earth.
No. Because you search too.
Oh, okay.
So you have a ram in your hand if you want it. But I feel like. Oh yeah, that's it. So then you destroy these, and then ram can summon back this, and you make Emerald and VFD.
And VFD, okay.
Yeah.
And Trident.
Yeah, and Trident. Maybe it's off their barrage. There's one of the ways you can do it where you can actually hit 3 out of their extra deck too. I think one of them you can.
Yeah, because you would have to be 2 Earths for the 3, yeah.
And I guess it's with the barrage. If you do the barrage first, then you can actually hit 3 out of their extra deck as well. But this way you can't, I guess. So yeah, you make Emerald VFD. So it's just 2 cards, and it ends with, Dimensional Barrier from your extra deck, basically. Emerald, Trident, you still have the field spell, and VFDs basically skip their turn too. So it's a really powerful play when it works. But the problem is it doesn't really work out like that.
Yeah. Because they have interaction, of course.
Yeah, they have interaction, of course. Like they play at least 3 Ash, 3 Cherries, or not 3 Cherries, 3 Ash, 3 Ghost Ogre, and Maxi. So 7 cards for when you're going first. That if this were resolving, you would already have a good play regardless. So I just don't feel like the Zephyros is worth it, especially considering it's particularly bad to draw. So I wouldn't play it again, but it is a cool combo. You can also do it with Masterpiece too, because instead of double searching, instead of double searching the 2 dragons, you can double search just the trap and the Masterpiece as well, or the spell and the Masterpiece, depending on where you are in the game. But yeah, so it's cool. Probably wouldn't play the Zephyros again, but I did like the deck a lot, and Special Summons a lot. And that's what I'm trying to do.
How was your experience at the tournament? And is there anything you changed going forward or anything like that?
Definitely lots of things I would change,
yeah.
But no, it was a good tournament. It was a lot of fun. It's cool because sometimes this deck can just push through an insane amount of things that they think they have everything. They have Trident Ogre, I don't know, Ash and Ogre, and you can still push through it all and make a good field on top of it. And some of my opponents were like, what just happened? How did you do that kind of thing? So yeah, no, I think it's a really powerful deck with a lot of potential, especially when the regular zoo deck is just normal summon Rat, and if you don't have Barrage, that's your only push for the turn. So yeah, no, I think it gives you a lot of options. It does a lot of the things I want to do. It checks a lot of the boxes, but a whole bunch of new cards are about to come out too. So
yeah, that's true. So I can't even ask you if you're going to play this or not. So you got
I have no idea,
a whole
honestly.
new set of cards to play with.
I love new sets. Those are my favorite times. I love deck building.
Well, we know you're going to go to the innovation table and just bring out something that we probably haven't seen before. So
That's
super
the plan.
excited to see that rounding out before. I think there's ARG St. Louis, and then after that is Nationals. So we'll see if you'll make it to ARG, but for sure we'll see you at Nationals. Any shout outs you want to give before we
shout
go
out PPG, shout out Ultra Pro, shout out Jay. We were main testing partners on this. Shout out to Dan and Willie, both in the top 4 as well. We all came down together. And yeah, shout out Gabe, top 2. But yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the
man.
deck profile. Appreciate it. Another solid performance by you. Hope
Thanks,
to see
man.
you at Nats. Peace.